Good day, Denise. CJ came in. All right. How are you? Yes, today is Tuesday, October 29th, 2024. Welcome, and thanks for getting up early or being here in the afternoon. Let's see. Yeah, okay, good. I'm going to just put my glasses up here so I don't forget them and don't lose them. Today is the third day before a new moon, so if you're feeling off a little bit, if you know anything about what I talk about, you'll know why. Good day, RM. How are you? Out there in, I think you're in the same time zone as we are, which is good. All right, let's get started with our Good Day Rising prayers. Kind of just slid right in here, so I apologize. I'm a little unprepared, so we will pick through some of the sayings from St. Teresa of Lisieux. Yeah, we have to just use our discernment and pick through those. Good day, Sister Jeannie. I think you're the earliest, right? We were trying to figure that out yesterday. Put down what time it is, where you are at. I'm curious so that I can get an idea. Wherever you live, what time is it now for you? If you can be awake enough to do that. So for here, obviously it's 7:30. Okay, Sister Jeannie says 4:30 a.m. She is a trooper. And I'm not sure if CJ's in the same time zone or 1 hour later than Sister Jeannie. Anyway, all right, let's get started. 6:30. Okay, wow. Okay, not as bad as I thought, CJ. Unless they didn't. Do you guys do the turn back in the time thing? I'm not sure because we're going to be doing that soon, and it's going to be, what is it? Yeah, fall back. So we're going to turn the clocks back. But I know Arizona does not do that. So I don't know. Does that help you, Sister Jeannie? I think it does. I think it helps her. All right, let's get started. In nomine Dei, Patrum nostrum, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Let us place ourselves in the presence of the Holy Trinity and in Catholic contemplation, humbly venerate the divine family in the Trinitarian Theophany. Most holy and venerable Holy Trinity, one divine family, I believe that thou art here present. I venerate thee with the deepest humility. I render to thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to thee. O most holy Trinity, relying on thine infinite goodness and promises, I hope to obtain pardon of my sins, the help of thy grace, and life everlasting, through the merits of Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patronum Nostri. O most holy Trinity, I love thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of thee, And I forgive all who have injured me and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. Let us thank the Holy Trinity for the many graces that we receive and offer ourselves and our sufferings up to heaven and for the souls in purgatory. O most Holy Trinity, I most humbly thank Thee for all the favors Thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to Thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in Thy service. I consecrate to Thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, that there may be none that is not animated by Thy love, or that would not tend to Thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good, and let us beg of the Holy Trinity the graces which are necessary to us. O most Holy Trinity, Thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of Thy grace. Deny me not Thy grace, proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which Thou forbiddest, to practice the good which Thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please Thee to send me. O Deum Matronam Nostrae, I place myself under Thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of Thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress, my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O most Holy Trinity, as envisioned by Sister Saint Lucia in the Trinitarian Theophany, Dea Matronam Nostrae et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I am heartily sorry for having offended Thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell, but most of all because they offend Thee, O most Holy Trinitarian Theophany, who are all good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of Thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. Okay, let's see what we can pick out of this book. So, Saint Teresa of Lisieux, The Story of a Soul. Again, she came from a very large family. And it's difficult because they're using a lot of quotes from the Old Testament and stuff like that, which is, as we know, Jewish writings, Hebrew. I think I'm going to, I'd have to be more prepared in order to do that, because the book isn't laid out that way. It's more of a story. So I'm going to grab something from The Imitation of Deum Iesum Christum by Thomas A. Kempis. And that one always has little jewels in there. Again, you have to discern. I was talking about nature and grace from here last time. I'll continue with that. Nature inclines to creatures, to her own flesh, to vanities, and to gadding abroad. But grace draws to God and to virtue, renounces creatures, flies the world, hates the desires of the flesh, restrains wandering about, and is ashamed to appear in public. Okay, so that's a really good point, especially now with the public show that is happening now in the world. I never realized how worldwide this American show has become, that they have enraptured so many people into their game, the best thing to do is not participate. And I know that this goes against a lot of the grain, but when you really study what it's all about in good conscience, you know, it's you should not participate in the show. Okay, think about that. It's nothing but a show. Nature willingly receives exterior comfort in which she may be sensibly delighted. But grace seeks to be comforted in God alone, and beyond all things visible, to be delighted in the sovereign good. Okay, that's really powerful too. But grace seeks to be comforted in God alone, not in politicians or in words of other men. Grace seeks to be comforted in God alone, and beyond all things visible, to be delighted in the sovereign good. So we discuss things, we contemplate things about God, and we are delighted in that. That's grace. And that's an important word, delighted, because we were just talking about that, how it's good to laugh. I think, and I've always felt that way, and always tried to make wherever I was, I failed miserable at home, but at work and places where you should be happy. Okay, and I'm genuinely a happy person. So spread that happiness and try not to, because that's, of a godly nature. Accept your sufferings, yes, but find time for joy. Nature doth all for her own gain and interest. She can do nothing gratis, but hopes to gain something equal or better, or praise or favor for her good deeds, and covets to have her actions and gifts much valued. But grace seeks nothing temporal, nor requires any other recompense but God alone for her reward, nor desires anything more of the necessaries of this life than may be serviceable in attaining a happy eternity. Okay, so that's a good thing to consider when you have this feeling for the desire for more, whatever that more may be, is to try and temper it with your desire for God alone. Nature rejoices in a multitude of friends and kindred. She glories in the nobility of her stock and descent. She fawns on them that are in power, flatters the rich, and applauds such as are like herself. But grace loves even her enemies, and is not puffed up with having a great many friends, nor esteems family or birth, unless when joined with greater virtue. She rather favors the poor than the rich. She has more compassion for the innocent than the powerful. She rejoices with them that loves the truth, and not with the deceitful. She ever extorts the good to be zealous for better gifts, and to become like unto the Son of God, Deum Iesum Christum, by the exercise of virtues. So in here, it's important to discern and be observant, to step back and observe. That's where when you start to learn the most, when you can discern by stepping back and observing people and their actions, what they seek, and who they are trying to imitate or emulate. Is that right, my English professor? Okay. Nature easily complains of want and of trouble, but grace bears poverty with constancy. Okay, there's that virtue of perseverance. Now, it isn't to say that in God's will you won't be given a gift of wealth, and that's where we go back to where it's clarified here, unless when joined with greater virtue. So with that gift would come extra expectations of virtuosity. So that's why in a Catholic monarchy, it is imperative that the monarch be one of great virtue, so that the kingdom will also be one of virtue. It just naturally progresses from the one. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean that the monarch will have great wealth, but will have great virtue. I think I'm going to stop there for today. That's a good spot to stop. Pray on that. Continue your health goals. Again, the reason why it may be tough today is because of the parasite. And yesterday it was a little tough for me, and I couldn't figure out why, but my stomach was not settled right, and it dawned on me when I looked at the moon calendar what was happening, because I have a terrible candida infection. I call it infection, but it's just there's too much candida, and that's a small yeast parasite, and I can't. That's a hard one for me to overcome with many, because sugar is such a desire of that parasite that it makes you crave that. So it takes a lot of will, and but we can do it. All right, let's begin with Mass. I'm going to turn the fire down. It's getting really warm in here. Becca probably likes the warmth because it's like Florida in here. Yeah. Deum vobiscum et quoque apotei, oremus. O Holy Trinity, the Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, grant to the souls of thy servants and handmaids the remission of all their sins, that they may obtain by loving prayers the forgiveness which they have always desired, who livest and reignest with thee, one Holy Trinity, forever and ever. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum Hanc Immaculatum Hostium, quam ego indinius famulos tuus offeritibi Deum meum vivum et verum, pro in nomine vidibus peccatis et offensionibus et negligentis meis et pro omnibus circumstantibus sed pro omnibus fidelibus catholicorum vivis atque defunctis ut mihi et idis profitiet a salutem. Deum qui humanae substantia dignitate mirabilite condititia mirabilis reformasti da nobis spiritus atque divine mysterium eius divinitatis esse consortis quimilitatis nostrae Fiat notus is parteceps Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui tecum vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem salutaris tuum da peccantis clementium, ut spectu divinae majestatis tuae pro nostra et totius mundi salute, cum adoris suavitatis escendat. In spiritu humilitatis et in animo contrito suscipiam rate Deum Iesum Christum et fiat sacrificium nostrum et spectu tuo hodie, ut placeat tibi Deum matronam nostra et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni sanctificator, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et sanctificite blata prosequendo, et accepere hoc sacrificium tuo sancto nomini praeparatum, suscipe sancta Trinitas concoblationum quam tibi efferimus a memoriam passiones resurrectiones et ascensiones Deum Iesum Christum, et in honoram Deum matronam nostra et Papa Peter Sanctorum et Istorum et omnium Sanctorum, ut idis proficiat ad honorem nobis autem et salutem, et illi pro nobis intercedere inter in caelis, quorum amore magimus in telis pediendum Christum Deum nostrum. Orate, ut meam equestrum sacrificium acceptabile fiat ab Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipiat Deum Iesum Christum, sacrificium de manibus tuis et laudam et gloriam nominis sui, ad utilitatem quoque nostram totiusque, ecclesiae suae sanctae. Deum vobiscum, quoque pote, sursum cor lacebemus a Deum. Gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Te igitor clementissime, Mater et Pater Deum matram nostra, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per Deum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum Deum nostrae, supplice surrogamus ac petimus. Ut accepta habeas et sanctificas, haec sanctam sacrificium illibata. In primis quae tibi afferimus pro ecclesiam tuam sanctam catholicam, quam pacificare, custodire, honore et regere digneris toto orbe terrarum atque catholicae. Memento Deum famulorum famulumque tuorum. We pray for the sick and the suffering. We especially pray for Katie, Gage, R.M., Neil and Earl Lively, Maria Josephina Mose, Letitia, Mark Jr., Henry, Barbara and Benedict Santa Croce, Robert Santa Croce, James Santa Croce, Mr. Nobody, Ann Bultink, the Cantu and Duarte families, Michaela McLarnon and family, Jenalina, Lori, Aaron and family, Maria and the Lineweber family, the Cahill, Kendrick, Dasco, Nye, Tafur, Began, Wolf, and Kane families, and all their intentions. Pray for Mr. Nobody to receive the funding and strength needed to complete the first Sede Vacantis Catholic Council office in Monastery of Illinois. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking, child abuse of any kind, any place or time. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance of deception or lying. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, a medium of exchange with no usury. We pray for courageous men to step forward as leaders of this Catholic society, ones being full of virtue. We ask that all quote-unquote gay marriage be banned, that all pornography in the OnlyFans platform be stopped immediately and forever. And we ask for a reversal of the feminist ideology and a return to godly femininity. We ask for the conversion of all sinners trapped in a state of mortal sin, especially the ignorant, that their eyes be opened, that their consciences be piqued to seek help. We pray for wisdom on how to prepare natural foods, to raise wholesome animals and healthy, and to share them with our neighbors. We pray for the elimination of all harmful radiation waves in our air and in our homes. We ask that you block the passage of any so-called pandemic treaty by the WHO, again based on lies, and that people come to realize that these these rules and suggestions are just that, just suggestions for the straw man, not the living being, child of the Holy Trinity. We ask Dei Matronam Nostrae to destroy the satanic document of Vatican law that is the Jewish Talmud. We ask you to destroy Rome and the Vatican and recognize the transfer of the authority of the Catholic Church to Fatima. We ask you to also transfer the souls from under the dominion of any Jew or Freemason that gives support to Israel, and that you destroy all forms of Freemasonry and its tentacles and that are everywhere, and bring those members into the submission of the Trinitarian Theophany through correct baptism and confession. All these things we ask in accordance with your divine holy will. Et omnium circumstantium quorum tibi fides cognitas et nota devotio proquibus tibi aferimus, vel qui tibi afferunt hoc sacrificium laudis, pro se suisque omnibus, pro redemptione anomarum suarum prospe salutis et ingulamitatis suae, tibi credent vota sua aeterna Deum vivo et vero, communicantes et memorantes in primis gloriosae, semper Deum matronam nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et beatorum martyrium tuorum, Papae Sancte Petre, et Sancti Lucia, et Sancti Jacinta, et Sancti Francisco, et Sancti Juan Diego, et omnium sanctorum tuorum quorum meritis praecibus quae concedas ut in omnibus protectiones tuae muniam auxilio periendum Christum Deum nostrum. Quam oblatione de Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibus consecratum ac aptabilem quae fecedi dignity sub nobis corpum et sanguim fiat delictissimi filium tuum Deum Iesum Christum, qui pridie quam pateretur recepit panem sanctus aqua honorabilis manus suas, et derivatis oculis in caelum aete Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum suum omnipotentem tibi gratias agens, consecravit frege didique lumis sui dicens accipite et mandicate ex hoc omnes. Hoc est enim corpus meum. Simile modo postquam ceremonia est accipiens, et hunc preclarum calicem in sanctus aqua honorabilis manus suas, item tibi gratias agens Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, consecrave dedique lumis sui dicens accipite et bibite ex omnes. Hic est enim calix sanguinis mei mysterium fidei, quae pro nobis et pro multis effundetur in remissione peccatorum, haequot est cumque feceritis in memone facietis. Unde et memores Deum nos servitui, sed plebs tua sancta, eiustum Christum filium tuum Deum nostrae. Tam beate passiones nec non et inferis resurrectiones, sed et in caelos gloriosae ascensiones afferimus, praeclarae majestati tuae de tuis donis actatis, supra quae propitio ac sereno utu respicieri digneris. Supplices te regamus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, ibe hic per Philippum manus tuum, ut quod, ex hoc ataris participationis sacrosanctum Deum Filium tuum, corpus et sanguinem subsenimus, omni sanctificatione caelesti et gratia Dei per amor, periendum Christum Deum nostrae. We pray for those who have died. We especially pray for Francis Stelzer, for whom this Mass is being offered. Ipsis Deum et omnibum in Christum quis gentibum locum refugeri lucis et pacis ut ondorge est brac amor periendum Christum Deum nostrum. Perquem haec omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bona creas. Sanctificas, vivibicas, consecratis et praestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso est ibi Deum Matrum omnipotenti in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Dea, matronam nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum, sanctam tuum in mulieribus, Dea matronam nostrae, materam Deum Iesum Christum, misericordia nobis peccatoribus nunc et hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos quaesimus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum abundibus malis, praeteritis, praesentibus et futuris, et intercedente beata et gloriosa semper Deum matronam nostrae, cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis do propitius pacem in diebus nostris, ut ope misericordiae tuae aduiti et peccato, simus semper liberi et boni perturbationis seculi. Per iendum Deum nostrum, Iesum Christum, Filium Tuum Deum nostrum, qui tecum vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum, Iesum Christum, sit semper vobiscum, et quoque apote. Haec mixtio et consecratio corporis et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum, fiat excipientibus nobis in ad salutem aeternam. Pax tecum, et quoque apote. Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum matronam nostrae, quaperante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem tuum unum vivificasti, libera me per hoc sacro sanctum corpus et sanguinum tuum abonibus iniquitatibus meis, et universis malis, et fac me tui semper in harare mandatis, et unum quam separare permittas, qui cum eodem Deum matronam nostrae, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, vivis et regnam aeternam. Perceptio corporis tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego indinius sumere praesimo non mihi provini ad inidicum et condemnationem, sed pro tua pietate prosit mihi ad tutem et metis corporis, et adam et elam percipiendam qui vivis et regnas, cum Deum matronam nostrae in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Panem caelestem accipiem et nomen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Deum matronam nostrae non sundinius, utritus et ete meis in tante de verbos napateranum mea. Deum Iesum Christum non sundinius, utritus et ete meis in tante de verbos napateranum mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non sundinius, utritus et ete meis in tante de verbos napateranum mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Quid retrubum Deum Iesum Christum pro omnibus quae retribuit mihi, calicem saetaris accipiem et nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo, laudans invocabo Deum matronam nostrae et ab inimicis meis abocero. Sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima meam. Codore sumpsimus Deum Iesum Christum purimente capiamus et immune et tempore fit nobis remedium sempiternum. bestum dem Jesum Christum Gottsam set sanguis quam potavi ad heri visceribus meis apraista ut in me non remaniat sceralo mecula quem purat sancta reficerunt sacramenta. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apote, oremus. May the prayer of thy suppliants profit the souls of thy servants and handmaids, we beseech thee, O Holy Trinity, that thou mayest free them from all sins and make them sharers in thy redemption, who livest and reignest with thee, one divine family, forever and ever. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apote, ite mise est. Deum gratia. Placia tibi sancta Trinitam obsequium servitutis meae, et praesta ut sacrificium corroculis tuae maestatis in unus obteritibis et acceptabile quet omnibus, pro quibus irut obtoliciti miserante propitiabile per Christum Deum nostrum. Sanctificat vos omnipotens Deum, Matronam et Filium et Spiritum Sanctum, Deum Matronam Nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. O most Holy Trinity, I believe, I venerate, I hope, and I love thee. I beg of thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not venerate, do not hope, and do not love thee. Most Holy Trinity, as envisioned by St. Lucia in the Trinitarian Theophany, I venerate thee profoundly, and I offer to thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of Deum Iesum Christum present here in reparation for the outrages, sacrileges, and indifference by which he himself is offended, and through the infinite merits of his most sacred heart and immaculate heart of Dea Matronam Nostrae, I beg of thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Dei Matronam Nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. Thank you for being here. The overheating on my cell phone alarm or alert came on. That's why I had to turn the fans up a little bit. I have to find a way to keep this phone cool while I'm recording. All right, please go and sanctify all those who you meet today. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, same time, at 7:30. Take care now.